What if I told you there's a specific food, one that most people over 60 rarely include in their diet, that could actually help you rebuild lost muscle, even in your 70s? Sounds surprising, I know. But the truth is, what many call normal aging is often something entirely different. Losing muscle isn't inevitable. It's not just about time or birthdays. It's a deeper metabolic shift, and it can be stopped. If you've noticed your legs feeling weaker, if getting off the couch requires more effort, or if your balance isn't quite what it used to be, these are warning signs, but they're not the root cause. They're the signal that something inside your body is no longer working the way it once did. Here's what's really happening. As we age, the body's ability to maintain muscle becomes impaired, not just because of aging itself, but due to hormonal changes, slower nutrient absorption, chronic inflammation, and something very few people have ever heard of: anabolic resistance. Anabolic resistance is when your muscles stop responding to the signals that normally trigger growth and repair. So even if you're eating protein or staying active, the muscle just isn't rebuilding like it should. It's like trying to water a plant with the hose turned off. Nothing soaks in. But here's where it gets exciting. Scientists have found that certain nutrients, found in very specific foods, can reactivate those muscle-building pathways. And one food in particular stands out. It's powerful, overlooked, and has the ability to jumpstart strength even in people over 75. In this video, we'll explore exactly why muscle loss speeds up after age 50, how anabolic resistance silently creeps in, and how one key food, rich in amino acids and metabolic cofactors, can help you reverse that decline and rebuild strength from the inside out. Because muscle isn't just about strength or appearance, it's your metabolic engine. It controls blood sugar, protects your brain, supports your joints, and gives you the independence to move freely through life. And if you've ever felt like your body just isn't responding the way it used to, don't worry. We're going to show you how to turn that switch back on. It starts with understanding what's really going on and giving your body exactly what it's asking for. But before we begin, take a quick moment. If this kind of content speaks to you, if you're interested in natural ways to stay strong, sharp, and independent after 50, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications. That's how you let YouTube know you want more real-life wellness tips, simple home remedies, and easy-to-follow strategies to help you feel more energized, balanced, and in control of your health. Now let's dig deeper into this hidden culprit behind muscle loss: anabolic resistance. If you're over 60 and you've been eating relatively well, maybe even staying active, yet still noticing your legs are shrinking, your posture feels less stable, or your strength just isn't what it used to be, it's not your imagination. But it's also not just aging. What's really happening is that your muscle tissue has become less responsive to the normal triggers that used to signal growth and repair. Think of it like this. In your younger years, every time you ate protein or used your muscles, your body reacted instantly, like a dry sponge soaking up water. Amino acids, hormones, nutrients, all went directly to building and maintaining muscle. But after 60, something shifts. That sponge stiffens. Now, even when you pour the right nutrients in, the absorption just doesn't happen the way it used to. That's anabolic resistance, and it's one of the biggest reasons older adults lose strength even when they're doing everything right. Why does this happen? It starts in your cells. Over time, changes in hormone levels, declining mitochondrial function, and even gut health begin to interfere with your body's ability to absorb and use protein properly. But one of the biggest players here is the mTOR pathway, a molecular switch that tells your body it's time to build muscle. In youth, even a small dose of protein or a bit of resistance exercise could flip that switch. But in older adults, the threshold gets higher. Your body needs a stronger signal, especially from one key amino acid, leucine, and we'll talk more about that in a minute. Add to this a second hidden challenge: chronic low-grade inflammation. As we age, inflammation quietly builds due to things like insulin resistance, poor sleep, stress, or an overworked liver. This silent fire makes it even harder for your muscles to respond to growth signals. So instead of being in a healthy cycle of breakdown and repair, your body starts to favor breakdown only, a catabolic state, and slowly, over months or years, you lose muscle mass, energy, stability, even confidence in your movement. But here's the hopeful truth. Anabolic resistance is not permanent. Your body is still listening. You just need to speak a little louder and a little smarter. That means giving your muscles the right fuel, in the right form, at the right time, and activating those growth pathways with specific nutrients and strategic movement, even just light walking or body weight exercises. In fact, research shows that older adults can restore their ability to build muscle by combining high-leucine foods with simple movement and proper meal timing. That's how you reopen the sponge. That's how you flip the muscle-building switch back on. And next, we'll look at the hormonal connection that makes all of this easier, and the one factor that determines whether the nutrients you eat actually reach your muscles or get stored as fat. Most people think of insulin only in terms of blood sugar, as something diabetics have to manage. But if you're over 50 and trying to build or even just preserve muscle, insulin is one of the most important hormones in your entire body. Here's why. Insulin isn't just about sugar. It's a powerful anabolic hormone, meaning it plays a key role in tissue growth, especially muscle. When your body is insulin sensitive, that means your muscle cells are like open doors. Nutrients, glucose, amino acids, fatty acids, get absorbed quickly and efficiently. Your muscles get the building blocks they need. Recovery improves, growth happens. But the opposite is also true. If you've become insulin resistant, which happens to most adults gradually over time, those cellular doors start to close. Nutrients don't get in. Instead of feeding your muscle, those calories linger in the bloodstream or get rerouted into fat storage. And here's the hidden danger. Insulin resistance doesn't just block muscle growth. It creates a cascade of problems: elevated blood sugar, increased inflammation, slower recovery, and even more anabolic resistance. In other words, even if you're eating high-quality protein, if your insulin isn't doing its job, your muscles can't use those nutrients effectively. Let's break this down with a simple analogy. Imagine you've got a truck full of building materials: bricks, cement, wood, nails, everything you need to construct a strong house. That truck is insulin. Your muscles are the construction site. If the truck can't reach the site because the roads are blocked, that's insulin resistance. The materials never get delivered. The workers can't build. And over time, the whole system weakens. Now the good news, you can restore insulin sensitivity, often faster than you think. And you don't need medication. You need signals, biological signals that tell your body, it's time to clear the roads and open the doors again. Here are 4 science-backed ways to do exactly that. 1. Walking after meals. Just 10-15 minutes of gentle movement after eating dramatically lowers post-meal blood sugar and improves how muscles absorb nutrients. No gym required, just consistency. 2. Intermittent fasting. Giving your body a daily break from constant eating, even 14-16 hours overnight, can lower insulin levels and restore hormonal balance. 3. Key nutrients. Chromium, magnesium, and cinnamon have all been shown to enhance insulin action. A splash of apple cider vinegar in water before meals can also support better glucose uptake. 4. Improved sleep. Insulin sensitivity is strongly tied to sleep quality. Aim for 7 to 8 hours of uninterrupted rest in a dark room. Poor sleep increases cortisol, and cortisol blocks insulin's effects. In fact, a 2019 study in the Journal of Clinical Endocrinology and Metabolism found that restoring insulin sensitivity was directly linked to greater muscle mass and improved functional strength, even in older adults with no exercise involved. That's how powerful this hormone is. So before you rush to add more protein or supplements to your routine, ask yourself, are your muscles even able to absorb what you're giving them? Fixing insulin sensitivity is like turning the key in the ignition. It doesn't matter how much fuel you pour into the tank. If the key doesn't turn, the engine won't run. But once it does, your body becomes more efficient, more energized, and more responsive to the muscle-building signals you're working so hard to send. Now we'll zoom in on the single most important amino acid your muscles need, the ignition key that actually flips the build switch back on, especially after 60. When it comes to building muscle, not all amino acids are created equal. Among the 20 building blocks of protein, one stands out as the true ignition key that fires up muscle growth: leucine. Think of leucine as the essential trigger that flips the switch on a vital cellular pathway called mTOR, mechanistic target of rapamycin. This pathway tells your body to begin building and repairing muscle tissue. Without sufficient leucine, that switch simply won't turn on. In younger adults, activating mTOR is relatively effortless. A small amount of leucine can spark muscle protein synthesis, but as we age, especially after 60, the threshold for activation rises significantly. Your body requires a much higher dose of leucine per meal to generate the same muscle-building response. This increase in threshold is a major contributor to anabolic resistance, where your muscles become less responsive to the growth signals, leading to gradual muscle loss despite regular protein intake. If you're still here with me, it means you're serious about taking control of your health, and that's the most important first step to feeling stronger and more vibrant every day. If you're looking to take your health and well-being to the next level, you might love being part of the 21 Days Reset for Seniors. It's a simple, guided challenge designed to help you feel better, move more, and build habits that truly last, because it's the little changes that make the biggest difference. If you're ready to improve your health and quality of life, the link is in the first pinned comment. So how much leucine do you really need? Studies indicate older adults require about 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine per meal to effectively stimulate muscle protein synthesis. However, many typical protein sources don't provide enough leucine in standard servings. For instance, one large egg contains roughly 0.5 grams of leucine. A 3-ounce portion of chicken offers about 2.1 grams. Close, but still slightly below the ideal amount. Whey protein might be a better source, but is not always tolerated well, especially for those with dairy sensitivities. Here's the exciting part. One natural food consistently delivers a high dose of leucine, along with essential cofactors that promote muscle growth, energy production, and metabolic health. That food is grass-fed beef liver. Though not everyone's favorite, liver is a nutritional powerhouse. Just 3 to 4 ounces of grass-fed beef liver can provide nearly 3 grams of leucine, enough to reliably activate the mTOR pathway and support muscle repair and growth in older adults. But liver's benefits go beyond leucine. It's rich in vitamin B12, which boosts energy and supports red blood cell production, crucial for delivering oxygen to muscles. It also contains iron, vital for mitochondrial energy production and reducing fatigue, as well as minerals like zinc and copper, essential for tissue repair and hormonal balance. Plus, liver contains choline, which supports liver function and helps improve insulin sensitivity indirectly. Scientific research backs these benefits. A 2021 study published in Nutrients found that seniors consuming leucine-rich animal proteins, especially organ meats like liver, showed significantly greater muscle retention and grip strength compared to those relying primarily on plant or dairy proteins. If the flavor or texture of liver is off-putting, freeze-dried beef liver capsules from quality grass-fed sources offer a convenient and effective alternative that preserves its nutrient density. In summary, grass-fed beef liver is a natural muscle-building superfood that delivers not only leucine, but a full range of nutrients your body needs to combat muscle loss and restore strength, even if you've been inactive for years. Now that you know which food packs the most powerful punch for muscle restoration, it's time to talk about how and when to eat to unlock its full potential. Because in the world of muscle preservation, timing is just as critical as the quality of what's on your plate. After age 60, your muscles become less sensitive to growth signals, not only because of anabolic resistance, but also due to how your body processes nutrients throughout the day. Simply eating protein whenever you feel like it won't cut it anymore. Your muscles need a clear anabolic window where they are most receptive to the building blocks of repair and growth. Research shows that after about 3 to 5 hours without food, your body gradually shifts into a mild catabolic state, breaking down muscle tissue for energy. This means if you don't feed your muscles strategically, they can't rebuild efficiently. Imagine your muscles like a sponge that can only absorb protein effectively if it's poured at the right times. So what does science say about the ideal feeding pattern? Studies highlight the importance of consuming larger, protein-rich meals spaced evenly throughout the day. This approach, called protein pulsing, provides the necessary leucine and amino acids in doses high enough to activate the muscle-building pathway, mTOR, repeatedly. For older adults, aiming for at least 25 to 30 grams of high-quality protein per meal, containing around 2.5 to 3 grams of leucine, is key to jump-starting muscle protein synthesis. Most importantly, don't skimp on breakfast. Many people eat very little protein in the morning and then overload at dinner, a pattern that diminishes the anabolic effect. A protein-rich breakfast, such as eggs paired with grass-fed liver or a serving of salmon, sets the stage for muscle building throughout the day. Follow this with balanced lunch and dinner meals spaced 4 to 6 hours apart to maintain muscle anabolism and avoid prolonged periods of muscle breakdown. Avoid grazing or nibbling on small amounts throughout the day, as this often fails to provide the critical mass of amino acids needed. Instead, focus on 2 to 3 well-structured meals to maximize muscle responsiveness. Also, consider avoiding protein intake right before bedtime. While it may sound logical to feed muscles overnight, late-night protein, especially harder-to-digest sources, can interfere with deep sleep and disrupt your body's natural repair cycles, regulated by hormones like melatonin and growth hormone. In addition to meal timing, small bouts of movement after eating, like a 10-minute walk, can further enhance insulin sensitivity and nutrient uptake by your muscles, making the protein you consume even more effective. A 2022 study published in the American Journal of Clinical Nutrition confirmed that older adults who concentrated their protein intake earlier in the day, with even leucine distribution across meals, had significantly better muscle protein synthesis and improved functional mobility after just 4 weeks, compared to those with uneven protein consumption. To summarize, here's a simple protocol to follow for maximum muscle gain and preservation. Start your day with a protein-rich breakfast containing at least 30 grams of protein and sufficient leucine. Think pasture-raised eggs and grass-fed liver or salmon. Space your meals 4 to 6 hours apart, aiming for 2 to 3 well-rounded meals with 25 to 35 grams of protein each. Add a 10-minute walk after meals to boost insulin sensitivity and nutrient delivery. Avoid eating protein late at night to preserve deep sleep and recovery. By pairing the powerful leucine-rich food you've learned about with smart meal timing and movement, you create the perfect environment for your muscles to rebuild, strengthen, and support your metabolism. Muscle isn't just about strength or how you look. It's the engine that powers your metabolism and keeps your entire body running smoothly. When you rebuild muscle, you're not only gaining strength, but you're also improving your body's ability to regulate blood sugar, burn fat, and maintain overall health. This means that maintaining muscle isn't just about staying active. It's about extending your health span, preserving your independence, and improving quality of life. Your body still has the ability to rebuild muscle, activate growth pathways like mTOR, and regenerate tissues even in your 70s and beyond. The key is providing the right nutrients, timing your meals strategically, and incorporating light activity. When you do, you don't just regain strength, you reclaim metabolic youth, enhanced energy, clearer cognition, and overall vitality that radiates through every part of your life. Building muscle goes far beyond just physical strength or appearance. It's one of the most powerful tools you have to slow down the aging process itself. As we age, muscle loss is linked not only to frailty and falls, but also to declines in brain function, immune response, and metabolic health. Muscle tissue produces and releases myokines, special signaling proteins that have far-reaching effects on your entire body, especially your brain. These myokines reduce chronic inflammation, a key driver of age-related diseases such as Alzheimer's and other forms of cognitive decline. Studies have shown that seniors with greater muscle mass and strength perform better on cognitive tests and have a lower risk of dementia. For example, research published in Frontiers in Aging Neuroscience found that muscle strength is directly correlated with brain volume in regions responsible for memory and executive function. Moreover, building muscle helps balance hormones like insulin and growth hormone, which regulate cell repair and regeneration. This hormonal balance supports better sleep quality, mood stability, and energy, elements critical for healthy aging. Another crucial aspect is muscle's role in supporting a robust immune system. Aging often brings immunosenescence, the gradual decline of immune function. Muscle helps counteract this by producing anti-inflammatory cytokines, which reduce the chronic low-grade inflammation that weakens immunity and accelerates aging. By preserving and rebuilding muscle, you're essentially giving your body a powerful defense system against multiple age-related challenges, from cognitive decline and metabolic diseases to weakened immunity and frailty. It's no exaggeration to say that muscle is your body's secret anti-aging weapon. It fuels not just your physical abilities, but your mental sharpness, emotional resilience, and overall longevity. So when you commit to strengthening your muscles, you're investing in a future where you can stay independent, sharp, and vibrant for decades to come. Now that you understand the science behind muscle loss and how to fight it, it's time to take action. Building muscle after 50 isn't about complicated workouts or expensive supplements. It's about simple, strategic choices that work with your body's biology. Start by including leucine-rich foods, especially grass-fed beef liver, once or twice a week to give your muscles the nutrients they need to rebuild. Remember, just a few ounces provide the dose needed to flip the muscle growth switch. Focus on your meal timing. Make sure your breakfast is protein-rich. Aim for at least 30 grams with a good leucine source to prime your body for the day ahead. Spread your protein intake across 2 to 3 balanced meals to keep muscle synthesis active throughout the day. Add light activity after meals, like a 10-minute walk, to boost insulin sensitivity and nutrient uptake by your muscles. Incorporate gentle resistance exercises a couple of times a week, even simple bodyweight movements or resistance bands, to stimulate muscle strength without overwhelming your body. Don't forget the importance of recovery. Prioritize good sleep, and allow at least 2 to 3 hours between your last meal and bedtime to support hormonal balance and repair. Track your progress beyond just strength. Notice changes in energy levels, mental clarity, balance, and how your clothes fit. These are signs your metabolism is waking up and your body is thriving. Most importantly, be patient and consistent. Muscle rebuilding is a journey, especially after 50, but your body is incredibly resilient and responsive when given the right signals. You have the tools, the knowledge, and the power to reverse muscle loss and reclaim your vitality. Every meal, every step, and every habit is a choice toward a stronger, healthier you. Remember, it's never too late to take control. Your body is still listening. Speak its language with good food, smart timing, and movement, and watch your strength, energy, and independence flourish. Before you go, do you usually eat liver? If not, are you planning to add it to your routine? Tell me in the comments. I'd love to hear from you. And if this video helped you understand how simple, natural choices can transform your health after 50, please hit the like button to show your support. Thank you for watching. And if you found this information valuable, don't forget to subscribe to the channel. It's free and really supports us in bringing you more reliable health tips. Just hit the subscribe button right below. And while you're there, tap the bell icon so YouTube alerts you every time we post new videos about natural nutrition and wellness. Thanks so much for watching. See you in the next video.